sometimes we let fear make us close a chapter that is still unfolding. We allow fear make us reach out for our harvest before it is fully ready.
With joy, we draw from the wells of salvation. Open your heart to the stories you hear today. Let them serve as tools to draw health, courage, comfort, graces from the endless supply of the one who gives freely and abundantly. So, grab a friend, grab a snack, and prepare to receive a fresh dose of joy. Welcome to Joy O'Clock. It's more than just story time.
One time we planted some corns on our farm and we planted too many in the little space that we had. So we had corns staying too close to each other and they ended up competing for nutrient and all of that. We did not know at the time that we weren't doing it the right way. We did not know that the space that they had would not be enough for them to thrive, grow well, produce the kind of fruits that they were supposed to produce. So what happened was when they started to grow, they were really thin, and whenever it rained, they would bend. A couple of them would fall. There was a particular time that it rained heavily and it was very, very windy. We came out to see almost all the corns. I think about 90% of them bent. Like if they had stayed in that state, there was no way they would have survived. So I looked at them and I was already, like when you see something that you try to fight for just going to waste. The first thing that would come to you is just that exhaustion, like maybe this is where we say goodbye. I looked at it and I wanted to turn away, but then my heart was like, let me see what I can do. So I went to work from one corn to another, raised them up, put sand around the roots to support them so that when it rains or if the wind comes again, they would not fall the way they did. And that's how we did what we could with those corns till they eventually got mature. During the time that these corns were growing, a farmer came to our house to visit my sister, and when she saw the corns, she analyzed them and told her, "Oh, what you did was not right. Because you planted them too close to each other, they don't have enough space to thrive. So, what you should do is take out some of the corns." So, she uprooted a few, I think two or three, and then told my sister to continue to do that, pull out the corns so that the other ones can thrive. When she told me, the first thing that came to my heart is we already made the mistakes, right? And we see that some of them are falling, some fall while the others still stand. Why don't we just let nature take its course? Let this be the survival of the fittest kind of scenario so that the ones that will thrive, and the ones that will not will go. The thought behind that decision was that how do we even know which of the corns will survive and bear good fruit? What if we take out with our hands the ones that would have borne better fruit? So we left them and eventually they produced fruits. They were very imperfect, but we did get a lot of corns from them. Small, some of them had a lot of spaces in between. But we enjoyed corns that we planted by our own hands. But we did learn from that experience to do them better. I remember this story recently because we had an experience that kind of taught me a lesson that I prayed to God that I would not learn from something that was more serious than that particular experience. So, what happened was around the time that we planted the corn, I think just before maturity, we noticed that something else was growing in our backyard. We thought it was corn. And then the next thing we saw, this corn grew beyond the length of the corns that we know. It just kept growing. Like it literally grew taller than our house. I'm serious. So that was when we realized that, okay, this is not, regular corn, but this is guinea corn or millet or something in that family. So we're like, you know what, we're not going to take this thing down. We're going to see the end of it. We'll see what fruit it bears so that we'll know exactly what it is. And this corn survived the rains. Normally, it would have fallen down because it wasn't deeply rooted, but because it was around our laundry lines and there was a small tree around there as well that was holding it. So it fell actually, but it did not fall all the way to the ground because there was some support. Recently, we saw that it had borne fruit, but now it was kind of constituting a nuisance. It wasn't looking nice where it was, and it was scratching our ceiling, turning left and right in the direction of the wind. So we were like, okay, maybe it's time to take it down. Initially, I was like, oh, let's leave it, let's see, let's wait till the fruits are mature so we can eat of it. One morning, I saw a bird eating out of some of the other ones that we wanted to wait till they got mature. And because I saw that, I was like, we don't even know if we are going to get any fruit out of this, seeing as we have pests already feasting off of them. We then decided that, okay, let's take it out. When we took it down, we then realized that the ones that we thought were mature were not, they were edible, but if you know guinea corns, I think we have the white ones and the pink ones, or the ones that are kind of almost orange. So this was that one. It was supposed to be like that pinkish or light orange kind of color, but because it wasn't fully mature, we did not see that color. If a couple of them were almost pink, and then the rest of them were white, but they were edible. So we had that one bunch of it. I don't know the right name. So we got that. But then there were about five more, I think, that were premature. So when we saw that, I was like, oh, so maybe if we had left this a little bit more, would have been able to get the harvest of those other ones. So the lesson I learned from this was, initially I said maybe we should leave it till we can get all the fruit out of it. But then, I saw the birds eating out of it, and I felt like the birds would get to it first before we do. And then the second thing is, I saw that there were other ones coming out of the side. So, like, we might need to wait for a very long time. And that was what now informed my decision for us to, bring it down. And what came to mind is like, number one, the fear of the birds getting to it first. Sometimes we let fear make us close a chapter that is still unfolding. We allow fear make us reach out for our harvest before it is fully ready. And that for me was a note of caution that don't let the wiles of the enemy, don't let what the enemy is trying to throw at you make you be anxious and then rush to stop something that God already set in motion, especially when you're looking out for the harvest. It may not seem like it's really connected, but it's just interesting the ways that I get to learn different things, serious life lessons from the things that happen around me. So this is what I learned. And then going back to the other story, I learned from that, when the corns fell and all of that, is just don't give up, even when it looks like it's all over. Because on that morning when we woke up and saw all the corns, already fallen, it looked like it was all over. It looked like there was nothing we could do about it. But somehow we were able to do something, and the corns survived, and we still ate of the fruit, even though they were not perfect. So that's just the lesson for me today, is stay the course. As long as you're with God on that journey, stay the course. No matter what the enemy does, keep your eyes on God and allow him lead you safely from that place of confusion, from that place that looks like it is not what God said, to the place of promise. Don't let fear, don't let the threats of the enemy make you turn back. Don't let the enemy make you quit on the journey. Don't let the threats of the enemy make you stop something beautiful before it completely blooms. Okay? Thank you for sticking around and listening to this story. I hope it blesses you. Please remember to share with somebody. Stay blessed and thrive gracefully. Bye.